Do you feel like the catering sector, from your perspective, is just as grand as the on-demand industry? How they projected it to be?
Good morning. Hey, it's a great morning.
Yeah, I think that the catering industry is, I can talk about from a market standpoint. So they say that it's about a $60 to $65 billion industry, right, for catering. That's going to grow from 2023, 2024, now we're in 2025 to 2030. Anywhere from 5 to 7% is what they project. So it's absolutely going to continue to grow. It's not going to go anywhere. But what I'm noticing and what I'm seeing is it's going to look different here in the future. COVID really threw a wrench into things. They flipped restaurants upside down. They needed any way to be able to attract customers from any single channel. They needed to be able to get customers, right? So that's where marketplaces really were able to grow and rapidly increase their market shares, is because restaurants became extremely dependent on them. Now what you're seeing is where brands are starting to really identify that marketplaces are a great, fantastic, amazing tool, but they're not the all-in-all solution. They're not the one-stop shop. So they are starting to really focus on using them as a portion of the business or a tool and leveraging their first party, right? That means attracting their own customers, retaining those customers, managing rewards for those customers. Things of that nature are becoming more and more of a focal point for restaurants than you've seen in the past. So you're going to start seeing a lot more boots on the ground, catering sales managers being hired, higher level catering individuals within companies, whether that's, you guys don't know Earl Dardick, but he's always pushing for a chief catering officer as an executive title for these companies, because it is a massive revenue stream for restaurants, and the growth potential of it is it's insane. So I think you're going to start seeing more deliveries, but it's going to be a diversified spread instead of more of a centralized thing.
So do you think that puts you more in line for direct partnerships and SaaS agreements and things of that nature? Because the way that I see it, how you just broke it down, is if they're leveraging more first party delivery, that's a kind of like a way for you to kind of get in and manage the deliveries using your platform with these direct partnerships. And when they're overloaded, you would be able to offer that marketplace and give them those drivers that are available on demand, but on a scheduled platform, of course.
Yeah, so I want to make this part very clear. We're in no way, shape, or form trying to become a marketplace. We don't want to get into that space at all. EasyCater and the other marketplaces out there, they do an amazing job, right? That's their hedgehog concept, and I always refer to hedgehog concepts, right? Jim Collins, Good to Great, he always says, what can you be the best in the world at? And that's what he'll refer to as your hedgehog. All these companies that they derail from their hedgehog concept are the ones that become stagnant, or they're not around forever, right? We always talk about leaving a legacy. So we have to do that by hammering in what we are the best at in the world and becoming better at it every single day. So that's not us going and chasing a marketplace. That's us being the best last mile solution for restaurants, marketplaces, channel partners, whoever's out there, whoever needs food delivered from point A to point B with a very high class customer experience and white glove experience, with a driver that walks through the door that represents themselves and the restaurant's brand better than maybe their own drivers could. That's what we can be the best in the world at, and we can continue to see and reap the benefits of that as the years progress.
All right. So there's this 2-part question. And this is really coming from like subscribers that, there's some that are getting offers, but the offers are like extremely far away for pickup, same day or, pre-scheduled. Or there's also, hey, when are you coming to my market? So like how rapidly is like DeliverThat trying to rectify these issues that drivers are having, or they want to be on the platform, or they want to get better offers, but why are they getting offers so far away for like somebody use $8 for 50 miles away?
Yep. That's absolutely priority number one, is how do we better and more intelligently provide opportunities to drivers? It's the number one code to crack. And we can do that at a better clip with more technology and leveraging technology, which is what we're doing, right? So that's definitely priority one. And I think going into new markets, we'll always go and expand into markets where there's demand, right? So if we have partners that if we wanted to, we could stand up every single zip code in this country and say, hey, we deliver in all 50 states, in all cities, we're there, right? But there's no benefit to that. There's wasted resources, wasted time, and failed expectations because drivers will get onboarded, but then what? There's not going to be any partners there. So we base our strategy and our expansion outside of we're in all 50 states, we're in all major cities. When we want to go to a tier 2 or tier 3 city, we have to meet requirements to be able to enter that market and stand it up. And that's based off of demand.
All right. And I just have one more question here. Now that the tip pool is gone, this is coming from the real Josh 05. Now that the tip pool is gone with the easy cater orders, what has been the biggest challenge that DT or DeliverThat has faced?
Really just managing the expectations with our drivers, right? There's, before we got rid of the tip pool, we had half the fleet on this side where they hate it, and you have half that appreciate it. Well, now that you take away the tip pool and we're doing 100% gratuity and things like that, like we always have, you get it for that specific order. The split is still the same. You still have drivers who appreciate it and drivers who still like the tip pool. So it's not anything that we're going to make everybody happy on. And I completely understand that. And everybody's entitled to their own opinion because each individual market, driver, their situation is different than the next, right? So who am I to say that this is the perfect policy for you? I'm not. So I'd say that the most challenging thing or the biggest challenge has been just managing the expectations with our drivers, right? And it's primarily the ones that liked prior to the change. But we feel as though that this was, and it's proven to be the best decision for the company to move forward and continue to grow and scale and do right by our drivers. So that's why we did it.
All right, that's awesome. Hey, listen, Darian, I don't know if Josh has any more questions. One more question, Josh. You got anything?
I got you. I can hang around a little bit longer. So you fire away.
It's a small multi-part a medium multi-part question.
Nothing is ever short with this guy, okay? Nothing.
Okay, so I'll make it as simple as possible because I know there's some things obviously you're not going to be able to answer, right? And I'm kind of in the same boat when it comes to other companies. So how big is the radius in which a driver can see a delivery from, say, another metro that they're close by to?
That's going to be on a case-by-case basis. So unfortunately, I can't give you a concrete answer. But my suggestion to you would be if you want to see a larger radius or you have a specific metro that you're traveling to or you'd like to get visibility into for those orders that's nearby, reach out to our driver experience team and kind of talk it through with them, and they'll be able to help you on a case-by-case basis. But in a grand scheme, it's very difficult to pinpoint.
Yeah, I'm in a unique location as a lot of people that live in Central Florida are, right? Mm-hmm. So, for example, I don't live in Orlando and I don't technically live in Kissimmee, right? So I'm in between both Tampa and Orlando. For me, it's a 1 hour shot both ways, right? And it's just hopping on I-4. So usually I'll see orders for Orlando, and on some days I'll see them for Tampa. But this brings me to part 2. I don't get to click on the order. It is the world's most frustrating thing, which is why I have not turned the app on in over a year and a half. Mm-hmm. So for me, the notification comes through, right? And this, I tested it on the new app. Notification comes through, click on the notification. The second it comes up and it's gone. Mm-hmm. There's obviously it's a very competitive market. Totally understand. Is there a way, such as some of the other pre-scheduled apps have done, to eliminate more so order drops to where they have to confirm within 15 seconds so that it stays up there so that the driver can get information on the order rather than grabbing it and throwing it into the pool?
Yeah, I think that's a great use case. And again, I think it first starts with how drivers are receiving the orders, and doing it in a more methodical way is going to solve a lot of that, which is, again, what we've talked about that we're really prioritizing. Is how do we get our best drivers who have the best on-time rate, they're the most consistent, they look the best, they have the most equipment. How do we get those drivers matched with the perfect delivery that they were able to execute on? And that perfect delivery might be, a little bit further away, but the earning potential might be higher because of how highly graded. Or if a driver's in their specific neighborhood or their zip code, there's multiple deliveries, and we know that they're always on time, they're never no-show. How do we get them multiple opportunities within that zip code instead of having to go to the west side, the east side, and then go south to finish off the day and then end up home when it's, a 5-hour road trip, right? Yeah. So I think that methodically figuring out ways to be able to provide those to drivers and leveraging the technology and our driver app and marrying all of that together in one is the perfect recipe.
All right. So I want to share an experience that I had with the new app that it's only happened on 3 different occasions. I did reach out, I think via text. I believe I sent the feedback via email as well. But a few times the app marked me as arrived at the drop off when I just left the restaurant. It just automatically did it on its own. Obviously, it sounds like it's a bug, but also there's been a time where I actually marked that I departed, and then I received a violation for not marking that I departed. And I'm like, wait, what? So then they did a bit of an investigation, and they saw that I marked departed and something went wrong. It was a technical issue on the app's part. But where was I going with this? I have no idea, Darian. But I was just sharing. Sharing this experience.
We're probably trying to figure out if this is something that we've seen, if it's a bug that we fixed. I would assume maybe. Mm-hmm. But if that was the question, no, it's not something that I've seen widespread. That's the beauty of being able to leverage our support staff and reaching out and seeing, hey. Because when we do these things and these violations, it's not anything malicious. It's not anything that we have a personal vendetta against any driver specifically at all. It's to uphold the quality, and there needs to be accountability on both ends, right? You guys do a great job of holding us accountable if something goes wrong on our end. And this is our way of being able to show you guys, hey, this is the standard that our partners that are sending you guys on these deliveries and paying the bills and all those things are expecting. So we have to put these quality assurance pieces in place. If there's app glitches or bugs and things of that nature, and you're in the right, easiest way is to just reach out to our driver experience or talk to our ops team and understand that it wasn't them that did this. They're here to help you solve that problem. They weren't the ones that caused it, right? That would be my main suggestion for blanket for any of these incidents or issues that you may experience.
Oh yeah. What time it is, D-Fam? Yeah. It's time to go get your money.